Questions. So many questions. Questions with no answers. Who am I? Why am I here? Where will I go when I die? What is the meaning of life? Then there's other questions like, are you a dog person or a cat person? No one ever asks, do you prefer couches or chairs? Birds or squirrels? Are you a nighttime person or a daytime person? Do you like cake or pie? But when you ask the question, dog person or cat person, it's truly telling us so much about one's personality. I mean, for example, if you're a dog person, you're most likely loyal and loving. You're kind and you care for others, while a cat person likes to stare at nothing for hours, walk around knocking random items off of counters, and probably enjoy burying their poo-poos in a box of sand. I'm kidding, none of that's true. Just the last one. I've only had dogs for pets, so definitely a dog person. Get out of here, you monster. Just kidding. I do like cats. I really do. In fact, I took care of a cat for almost 24 hours one time. Almost. But to fully understand that tale, get it? Tale? Let me take you through a journey of every dog I've had as a pet, child to adult. Don't worry, I'll make it quick. I would hate to waste your time here on YouTube. I mean, obviously you're a busy person. I can tell. So, the very first dog pet we had as a kid was a poodle named Mitzi. She was kind of old and mean, and anytime I would run in the house, she would bite my ankles. My mom claimed poodles were the smartest dogs, so that's why we had a poodle. And poodles don't shed. That's probably the main reason. So eventually we got another poodle named Muffin. We didn't name her, she was already named that. So for a while we had two dogs, Mitzi and Muffin. And then it was just Muffin. And then, when I was a teenager, my family broke the poodle streak and we got a Dalmatian named Sparky. And Sparky was both smart, but she also shed fur like a maniac. Black and white fur was everywhere. Sometimes Sparky would shed her fur so much that she looked more pink than white. And a Dalmatian's skin is actually pink with black spots. Kind of interesting. The first dog my wife and I ever owned as a newly married couple was an old English sheepdog named Doodle, which is a weird thing to yell at a park when you're calling for your dog. Doodle, come here! Hey Doodle, Doodle, come on Doodle, Doodle! Good Doodle. And Doodle was a very good dog, but also probably the oddest dog I've ever owned. For instance, he was afraid to walk on wood floors in our house, but was fine on tile, so we had to make a path of carpet squares so he could cross the dreaded wood floors. And if there was a plastic bottle, or some paper trash, or even a leaf that blew down the street, Doodle would completely freak out and want to run from it, which made going on walks a lot of fun. So, to help Doodle with his constant anxiety, I decided to get him a friend. Louie, the yellow lab. Louie was basically Dogzilla. This dog never had an anxious moment in its life. Louie wasn't afraid of anything. I could be working with power tools and Louie would have his nose right up there sniffing as I'm working. Doodle did not like Louie at first. I mean, Doodle basically hated Louie. But Louie loved Doodle, and eventually they did become sort of friends. So for a decade it was Doodle and Louie. Then it was Doodle, Louie, and baby Tyler. Then it was Doodle, Louie, Tyler, and now baby Cooper. And then one day, all of a sudden Doodle got sick, and he was gone. And then years later, Louie got cancer, and he left us too. And now we have Rusty, the Wonder Mutt. Yeah, he's basically a cross between a golden retriever and a chow and a loaf of warm bread. I mean, this dog sleeps nonstop, never barks, and is the best dog we've ever had. And to think, we got him for free. Yeah, that's right. A friend of ours found him in downtown Cincinnati. She found him and then asked if we wanted a dog. I wasn't sure I wanted another dog at the time, but it turns out he's the perfect addition to our family. So yeah, I'm 100% a dog person. But I do know how to be friends with a cat. Whenever my wife and kids see a cat, they immediately start making these weird sounds. Psst, psst, psst. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Come on. Psst, psst, psst. Come here, kitty. And you know what I do? I ignore the cat. That's right. I just flat out ignore it. And who do you think the cat ends up with? That's right, me. Because cats hate to be ignored. Or they love to be ignored. I don't know which it is.
Thank you for ignoring me.
There was one time I sort of took care of a cat. Sort of. I was just out of college and living in a house with 3 roommates. I was working from home as a freelance illustrator and a cartoonist. Well, I was also working like several other crazy jobs, but that would be another video. Yeah, a lot of jobs back then. When a car parks across from my house and a dude gets out of the car. He pulls a box out of the car. What's in the box, man? What's in the box? Does anyone get that reference? Brad Pitt from the movie Seven, 1995? Anyone? Well, out of that box pop up about 4 kitten heads. And the dude is petting them and picking them up, and then he's pulling them out of the box and setting them on the grass. And he has that kind of sad look, kind of like he's saying goodbye? Wait, he's ditching his kittens right in front of my house? What? Oh, no, you don't. I run out of the door and the dude jumps in his car and takes off. So I jump in my car and I go after him. I'm chasing after this cat abandoner through the neighborhood. When it kind of dawns on me, what the cheese fries am I gonna do when I catch this guy? So I let him get away. It was like the world's fastest Dodge Omni hatchback, I will say that. That's right, I let you get away. It had nothing to do with how good of a driver you were or how much faster your car was. None of that mattered. You got away this time, punk. But don't you think about doing that again in my neighborhood. 'Cause, well, there's not a single thing I can do about it. So I drive back to my house and there's these 2 little girls and they have the 4 kittens.
We're taking the kittens, but the mommy cat ran into the woods.
So the kittens have a new home and I don't see mommy cat anywhere. Well, that is until later that evening.
Meow.
Oh, you must be mommy cat. Hey, I think your kids have a good home. That's good, right?
Meow.
Dude, that kind of sucks what they did to you.
Meow.
You hungry? I don't have cat food, but I can look for something. Do you like bologna?
Meow.
What about A1 steak sauce?
Meow.
I wasn't allowed to have a pet since it was a rental property. Plus, my roommates and we barely had enough money to keep ourselves alive, let alone another animal. So taking care of a cat was just completely out of the question. I even think the cat felt a little bit sad about my living conditions.
Meow. Geez, you folks have it worse than I do, and I'm a homeless cat.
So I fed the cat and gave it some water, and it was just so sweet. My roommates even liked this cat. That's how awesome it was. So we decided to keep it in the garage overnight, and then later I would take it to a cat rescue place in the morning. We made a bed for it, and bought cat food, and played with it that night. And if it weren't for my one roommate's allergies, we would have let it sleep in the house for at least one night. I don't think I can handle this cat. The next morning, I was ready to take this sweet mommy cat to the cat rescue place in hopes it would find a new home. So I picked her up and I gave her a few loving pets. She nuzzled against my chest, and then I placed her into my 1996 Jeep Wrangler that I was leasing for $196 a month. How do I remember that? That's weird. Please keep in mind, I've never owned a cat in my life, so don't judge me for this next part. Again, I only owned dogs, and dogs absolutely love car rides. I learned that day, cats do not. I did not know this about cats. So again, please try to understand. I put mommy cat into the Jeep and shut the door. I walk over to the other side and start the car. As I back down the driveway, I hear, and I mean, it's an evil hiss. It's like if you mixed a king cobra with a hell demon monster.
Get me out of this car or I will bite your jugular vein.
She clawed into the back of my seat and looked like a zombie cat from Pet Sematary. With the corn dogs! Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to help you. I jump out of the Jeep, and the cat's running all over the Jeep trying to find a way out. For some reason, it can't seem to find the open door. It's just hissing and running around inside.
Get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. Ow.
So I open the other door, but the cat's so freaked out it still can't find a way out of my car. So now I look like I'm trying to exorcise a demon from my car. Out, I command you, out of my Jeep, I cast ye out. The cat finally shoots out of the door and into the woods, and I never saw that cat again. When my roommates arrived at home later on that afternoon, they asked about Mommy Cat. And you know what they said? You didn't use a cat carrier? A what? Oh yeah, you have to put a cat in a cat carrier. Cats hate cars. My roommates assumed I knew this. I guess they assumed I had a cat carrier or a cat cage also. We barely had food or furniture. And they assumed I had this contraption to carry a cat around? You didn't use a cat carrier or a crate? What kind of person are you? So I guess this was like some kind of common knowledge to almost everyone except for me. And that's my one cat experience. And now I know cats don't like car rides. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos right here. And make sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up on the latest videos and more.